I'm Mark Dowling. I'm just continuing my video vlog on my research topic. I've recently come to a conclusion in terms of what my overall question will be. And the question will be literary trope, metaphor, and the musical experience of the spirit. And what I really want to discuss is how I came to this question of literary trope, metaphor, and the musical experience of the spirit. And it really arose out of this interest that I initially had in my first video of how music affects the person, particularly within church circles. So those were my kind of key areas, church music and church experience, and also music. It's particularly interesting because of the charismatic movement and why certain people raise their hands through a song, whether it be more to do with the words in a song or whether it's to do with the musical changes in a song. Also looking at the other sort of religious experiences as to why people might experience goosebumps or something, can attribute that to the Holy Spirit, the third person in the Trinity. And really, through a discussion of these ideas, I came to the conclusion that I'm probably not qualified enough to look at the ins and outs of the psychology of the human mind. That would require probably a psychological university student to work that out. So what I did is I thought I'd have a look at some of the literature on these experiences. And there's not much, but there's a really good book by someone called Alf Gabrielson to do with musical experience. And what it is it's kind of a really thick book full of loads of different quotes from people to do with music and transcendentalism and music and religious experience. And it's just got a number of quotes by them. And this Alf Gabrielson guy sort of gives a short paragraph-long commentary of his view on it, and maybe a descriptor of what kind of language these people are looking at using. And it really gave me this sort of idea that we'd look at the way in which language is used within these experiences and how that might relate to the experience of the Holy Spirit. So in terms of how someone might describe a piece of music, if they felt a piece was exhilarating, some people in charismatic circles might come out of a church service and say, wow, I've really pumped up, energized, exhilarated by the worship, for example. And so I came to this conclusion, maybe we could have a look at the question that came before the research title. And that was this: literary trope within musical experiences as metaphor for the regenerative work of the spirit. So literary trope within the musical experience as metaphor for the regenerative work of the spirit. Because essentially a lot of the ideas used within these circles, within music in general, kind of has to do with this change in experience. People will listen to maybe a track by the Beatles, and then they will say, wow, this was a real sort of pivotal point in my musical career. Why is it? And that kind of reminded me of the Christian experience of regeneration, of being born in the Spirit, and that kind of theological intervention within this research idea. So anyway, I sent that question to my professor, and he said it's a little bit broad and it should be coaxed in a more academic style, a bit more concise, simplistic title. So I came up with this literary trope, metaphor, and the musical experience of the spirit. And it is really looking at all these different types of language used, and how that might be a metaphor for the specific and vast range of the Holy Spirit's work in a believer's life or in a non-believer's life, respectively. So yeah, that's my research title, literary trope, metaphor, and the musical experience of the spirit. Thank you.